Welcome to See You on the Other Side, where the world of the mysterious collides with the world of entertainment. A discussion of art, music, movies, spirituality, the weird, and self-discovery. And now, your hosts, musicians and entertainers who have their own weakness for the weird, Mike and Wendy from the band Sunspot.
Mike, we have more 5-star reviews. I'm so excited.
More 5-star reviews. That's my favorite thing around.
It's very exciting. So I would just like to quickly thank Trisha Lynn, who reviewed us with 5 stars and said, just found you and love it. Binge listening now and really enjoying.
Right. Trisha Lynn, you're my girl, yo.
No, that's really cool.
Right on.
I love binge listening. I have to admit, when I find a new podcast to listen to, I just go like hardcore. And so like right now I'm listening to that the NPR Serial one.
Oh, you're on Serial, huh? I haven't gotten on it yet. I know it's the thing to do, but I haven't done it yet.
So I have all these other podcasts that I love that I listen to regularly, and I can't, like, I tried to take a break and listen to one of those, and I can't. I have to get up to speed. So Trisha Lynn, thank you for taking the time to review.
Thank you, Trisha. You know what podcast I binge listened to for like 3 months?
What's that, Mike?
Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
Ooh, I have yet to listen to that one.
Dude, Dan Carlin. First of all, I discovered today that I had missed the 4th part of his World War I podcast from August. For some reason, I wasn't subscribed. I thought I was subscribed. But Dan Carlin's Hardcore History is my absolute favorite. Like, he really gets into the how and why of things, and when you're done listening to it, you absolutely feel smarter. So that's
cool.
that's my favorite. That's the one I can't miss. Like, he only comes out once every couple months, and it's really fascinating. So Dan Carlin's awesome.
This message was brought to you by Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's sponsored by Audible, so it's like, don't forget about Audible.com. And I'm like, Audible, you've gotten lots of my money.
Hey, you just gave him a free ad. But Trisha Lynn, thank you so much for taking the time to do that. And anyone else who would be so inclined as to leave us a review, I've put up a special page at othersidepodcast.com/review.
Excellent.
Where you can, I'm doing my best to help you find out the easiest way to do the whole reviewing process, depending on which system, which OS you use. And but if you leave a 5-star review, please leave a comment as well so that we can thank you and give you a little shouty on here.
Yeah, we'd love to say something nice to you for doing something awesome like Trisha Lynn.
Yes. Okay. And also like Sconner 99 and Duck and Decker.
Yeah, those guys are the coolest.
It's a special club.
Yeah.
We hold you in our hearts. So, what's up next?
Well, I think today I want to talk about celebrity conspiracy theories.
Okay. Yeah. Conspiracy theories. We haven't covered too much about that yet, but we did talk about the Illuminati a bit.
We talked about the Anunnaki.
That's right, yes.
David Icke and the lizards that rule the world.
Indeed.
So we talked about those guys, and but the fact is, whether they're on drugs or not, and we'll be talking about Charlie Sheen in a little while, no worries.
Tiger Blood.
Tiger Blood. Winning. Sober Valley. Charlie Sheen, thank you for all you've done for the rest of us who watch pop culture. But, celebrities are paranoid people. They really are.
And rightfully so.
Absolutely. It's a paranoid group of people. I mean, what happened to John Lennon? John Lennon got popped.
It's happened to a lot of celebrities.
Yeah, it happened.
Sadly.
Think about Dimebag Darrell from Pantera, 2005. Like, not a lot of people talk about that, but Diamond Darrell was murdered.
Did you just say Diamond Darrell?
Diamond Darrell was his original name.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I always heard of him as Dimebag, and I thought you were like crossing him over with Diamond Dave. And I'm like, what?
Diamond David Lee Roth. No, yeah. So for the first couple of Pantera albums, he was known as Diamond Darrell. And then he didn't change to dime bag until pot became cool in the mainstream in like 1993. So the first couple of Pantera albums, it's Diamond Daryl. And he gets murdered in December of 2005.
Such a horrible nightmare.
In Ohio, like Columbus, Ohio. Like I remember, and the thing is, like we knew so many people who've been influenced and love Pantera and everything that Dimebag, Diamond, whatever. Daryl getting murdered at a show. You have to watch out for it. Yes, in some ways, celebrities should be paranoid because in some ways people are out to get them.
Yeah, and I mean, you hear all the time about celebrities with stalkers, so it's like, I mean, I can totally imagine somebody like Britney Spears or someone who's just hugely in the limelight. There's so many crazy people out there in the world, and their eyes are drawn to someone famous, and who knows what they're going to do. So, yeah, I mean, bodyguards, do it.
At the same time, I think it's a little sad.
It's very sad.
Because there's people that have these, mental illnesses, and there's people lucky enough to live on, the attention side of life. And so you think about these people who are trying to, who latch on to the people that get all the attention. And it's just another victim of celebrity culture. Of all of these things, of People Magazine and Stars and the
TMZ.
National Enquirer, right? And all these, like, I love celebrity news. I love to watch it when somebody falls. I'll admit it,
Oh my!
I know, but you're like, you know what? I saw your contract and you had it coming.
Oh my gosh!
But the thing is that when people take that too far. Like there was a woman that used to broke into David Letterman's house.
Yeah,
a bunch of times. And she stole his car one time, and she was driving with her son in David Letterman's car, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm David Letterman's wife."
No, this isn't weird. No, this isn't wrong at all. I've just stolen someone's vehicle with my child.
She wasn't David Letterman's wife, and then she eventually killed herself.
That's very sad.
And David Letterman was cool about it. But the thing is, like, stalkers and all of these kind of people exist. And the fact is that sometimes celebrities should be absolutely paranoid because people are out to kill them.
Yeah, and it is sad. I mean, it's very sad that woman, who knows what she was going through, but at the same time, just because somebody's famous, that does not mean that, they deserve to have the right to
ruin someone's. Well, what are we talking about this week? The conversation this week on Twitter, on Facebook is about The Interview, right?
Right. Yes.
So James Franco,
the movie, The Interview,
and Seth Rogen, right? The Interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco, and like they were trying to create a Team America style political satire. Maybe not a political satire because those guys maybe aren't smart enough for political satire. But what they're trying is, some kind of satire of the CIA and North Korea. And because they offended some Asian hackers so much, their movie is no longer coming out.
Right. Because
the hackers said if the movie comes out, we will do to movie theaters a September 11th style attack.
Right. Yep.
And today, this is, what we're all talking about this week is The Interview and everything like that. And this is one danger of media. So there really was a conspiracy against Seth Rogen and James Franco. Like, if they said there's a conspiracy to ruin our next movie, they wouldn't be lying.
Yeah, it's true. And they already put the money in and like it's ready to release. It's not like a threatening, if you make this movie, we're going to, it's like the movie's done. It's ready to be released and now no.
And now people have already made sure that the movie will never be seen by a majority of American theater goers, which is fairly sad or whatever, because it does feel like the terrorists won this time.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, so you wonder why these people think that the world is out to get them, that they believe in conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the most famous conspiracy theorist probably is Oliver Stone.
Okay, right, because, the whole, like, JFK thing.
JFK. I mean, JFK came out, like, and this is going to make you feel old. JFK came out 24 years ago.
It doesn't make me feel old, because, I mean, I wasn't born then, so.
Oh, there you go. So you don't have to worry about it. But,
I kid.
Like, he went back, he recreated the Zapruder film. Like, Time Magazine did a special issue on JFK when the movie came out. Kevin Costner was the biggest star in the world at the time because he just got the Academy Award for Dances with Wolves. And it just seemed like really important. It was but the 27th, 28th anniversary of Kennedy's assassination. And it felt like to everybody. Like, I don't know if you would talk to anybody who would say, like, yeah, it was just one guy. It was just one guy that shot JFK. There was a magic bullet that killed him, pushed into the Connolly, the guy from Texas, and, blew JFK's brains all over his wife. Like, one bullet did all this kind of stuff. And when you go back to it, like, Oliver Stone's conspiracy theory, whether or not you believe in it or not, because, I mean, there was a guy prosecuted in Louisiana because the character that Kevin Costner played was a Louisiana district attorney, Garrison.
Mm-hmm.
He brought the only court case ever brought to our Justice Department for the murder of JFK.
Wow.
And it was a character that Tommy Lee Jones played in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this really, there was sci-fi conspiracy theories with They Live and other movies like that in the 1980s. But JFK brought conspiracy theories of the government being dishonest, of entertainment being a shining light on the conspiracies against the American people. JFK was the originator of that particular thing.
Sure. Well, along that vein, as far as conspiracies against American people, there are several celebrities who think that September 11th was a big conspiracy.
Ah, truthers.
Yes, the truther, the 9/11 truthers.
And that, I think being the truther is the most dangerous thing to be.
Yeah.
Because when you say that you think that 9/11 was an inside job,
yeah,
people think you're a kook or
you're
people
anti-American.
Think you're a jerk. It just, you can't say that 9/11 was an inside job without other people thinking something about you. Jesse Ventura, who used to be the governor of the place that I live in right now. I'm about 5 miles from Minnesota State Capitol, and I've seen it a million times. I always think when I pass it, like, there was a professional wrestler in there. you guys are crazy. But Jesse Ventura is the first person to say, like, you know what? All of the things that we've been told about September 11th don't add up. And Jesse Ventura is probably the strongest of them. But who are some other ones?
Well, let's see here. For truthers, apparently Charlie Sheen.
Tiger Blood, Charlie Sheen.
Yes. Which I was not aware that he was a truther.
He even turned his dad around to truthing. Like,
wow.
He brought up some things. And Martin Sheen, who played the president in The West Wing, also came and said, like, hey, like, I'm kind of questioning this, which, great. I mean, it's good
Sure.
that they question these things, but it's just interesting. Do you ever see Inception, Wendy?
Yes. It's one of the few movies I've actually seen.
Okay. Well, there's a French actress, Marion Cotillard, who played Leo DiCaprio's wife or ex-wife in the movie. The one that was haunting him the whole time. Spoilers for Inception if you didn't live through 2010. But Marion Cotillard, she's the one that said that she's like, well, it went into the whole, like, the fact that the World Trade Center 7, like, you know, how did that building fall if it wasn't hit by a plane and stuff? And so it really is interesting to see that people do question the whole truth. Mos Def came out. He came out in 2007 on the Bill Maher Show. And the Bill Maher Show is comedy. So it might be, you know, like... maybe
but it's political, too. I mean, it's they definitely...
Absolutely. But people also say funny things on Real Time with Bill Maher.
Right.
So I want to give Mos Def the benefit of the doubt. Because, well, saying to people that you think that 9/11 might not have been the result of 19 Muslim terrorists is offensive to a lot of people. So, I mean, I and you have friends in the American military. And if we say that to the people in the American military, they treat us like we are idiots.
I would say not only that, but I mean, I know directly know people who had family members in the Twin Towers that were lost because of that, you know, and it's just such a sensitive topic that you don't want to, I mean, even bringing it up is just, it's horrible and sensitive, and it's you don't want those people questioning what happened. They're dealing with enough already of having lost direct family members, you know, so.
Yes, that is absolutely true. They're dealing with all of this pain is too close.
Right, exactly.
To be able to have a critical look at. But people still believe that it might have been an inside job. And this is not an insignificant thing. Like, it's still on Coast to Coast and everything. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Mos Def, Charlie Sheen, Marion Cotillard, Jesse Ventura, they still think something's a little fishy about the official story about September 11th.
And that's fair, and it's good to question things, right?
I think it's always good to question things. Because you know what? When it comes to the government, I always say prove it.
Yeah, and not just the government, but I mean, the way that we find out about these things through the media, it's through lenses of multiple people and multiple people with different, you know, motivations. And I mean, there's a lot of money involved, and it's just like really knowing what the actual truth is. And when we're trying to view it through this cloudy lens, it's not easy.
And the media has lied to us in our lifetime.
Right. We've seen it firsthand.
I mean, whether or not it was a good thing to be in Vietnam, whether or not it was a good thing to do things like send U.S. troops into Laos and stuff like that, whether or not it was good, they still did it. And then they told us they didn't. And so they still used American money, our tax dollars to do these things. And it doesn't matter what your side is on the spectrum. When the government lies to you, you still have to worry about, are they going to lie to you again?
Yep.
You know, we should go a little bit lighter because 9/11
so serious.
9/11 truth really is serious because we still have troops over there who are getting, you know, people get killed. We had so many kids die this week in the Pakistan Taliban thing.
Way to lighten it up, Mike.
What I'm trying to say is it's a very serious thing.
It is, and just thinking about 9/11 just makes you feel. I mean, it just makes your heart heavy because
yes, it does.
That day, I mean, anyway, okay, so
we should go back to Hollywood.
Let's lighten up a little, shall we?
Let's go back
to
Hollywood and my guy Randy Quaid.
Oh, Randy.
So Randy Quaid, if you don't know him, he's the brother of Dennis Quaid. So Randy Quaid, remember Cousin Eddie from National Lampoon's Vacation?
Oh, of course, yes.
That's Randy Quaid.
Oh, okay. He was the one that was like in the desert in the Vegas Vacation.
Yes.
Like shooting rattlesnakes for dinner and whatnot.
Vegas Vacation. Whether
my
you're bringing up the word, okay.
Oh, you said worst as I said favorite.
And then I stopped talking. If you didn't
Oh
know.
man, I love that movie.
But I mean, Cousin Eddie from Vegas Vacation. I mean, Randy Quaid. He was on Saturday Night Live. He was one of the main characters in Independence Day. He was in a great Peter Bogdanovich's The Last Picture. Like Randy Quaid, he could be a great actor. He got awards for his portrayal of Lyndon Baines Johnson. He's from Texas. His brother is Dennis Quaid, who's all sexy and looks good. But Randy Quaid had a show with Jonathan Winters. A couple years ago, Randy Quaid went off the reservation.
Okay. And when you say that, you mean exactly what?
Randy Quaid went crazy. So, him and his wife said that they were squatting in a house they used to own and sold, but they were squatting in it because they were being hunted by a group called the Hollywood Starwhackers.
Whoa.
So this is their conspiracy. The Hollywood Starwhackers try to take as much money as they can from celebrities and also murder them so it's, there's no evidence of it. They did it to Heath Ledger. You remember Heath Ledger, that good-looking guy?
Of course.
Right.
Oh, man, I loved him in that, what was Knight's Tale movie?
Oh, and that Knight's Tale was fun. That was
movie.
That was a great movie.
Thought he was really cute.
Knight's Tale was fun. And Heath Ledger obviously was the best Joker, in years. A long time. Great Joker. But they said, like, these Hollywood stockbrokers, they killed Heath Ledger. They tried to poison to death a guy named Jeremy Piven.
Why?
To collect their money
And do what with it?
Well, keep their money.
Oh, they're just bandits, basically? Like,
they're just greedy. And
sheesh.
they're trying to
I thought we were getting lighter here. What's this?
Well, the Hollywood... But it's lighter because it's Randy
The name
Quaid.
is funny. And Star Whackers is a pretty hilarious name,
And
too.
he ran away to Canada. Like, he was so afraid of it. He ran away to Canada.
Well, it's a safe place. I hear it's nice up there.
No, right. Canada is great. Obviously, our neighbors to the north. But the Hollywood... So they ran away to Canada, and they tried to apply for asylum in British Columbia. And Canada was like, no, you can't just show up here, claim something crazy that people are trying to kill celebrities. And then, like, they had left a whole bunch of bills and destruction and all these things in the United States. And Randy Quaid, he's not like some small-time actor. Like, Randy Quaid was a huge actor. He had his own sitcom. He was in major films in the 1990s. And then in the 2000s, him and his wife fell off the deep end and ran to Canada, claiming that they were being hunted by Starwhackers.
Yeah, well, I mean, so they believe this, and then their actions supported that belief, which it's just, okay, so when you think about these situations, it's kind of sad because they have no way of winning, because if it's actually true and they react to it...
Well, then they're dead.
Right, exactly. But if it's not true, then they look like they're cuckoo, cuckoo, you know?
But they are cuckoo.
Okay.
Because, like, you listen... So I was
You
reading
don't believe
today,
in the Starwhackers.
I don't believe in the Starwhackers. Because, number one, Heath Ledger
Hope
was
you don't
just
get
a
famous
guy...
any day.
Right. Heath
They'll
Ledger
whack you.
was just a guy who got famous, got a bunch of doctors who gave him a bunch of pills because, for painkillers and stuff, and then drank with the pills, and then died. It was too bad because he was a very talented actor. And Randy Quaid, number one, who would want to kill Randy Quaid? Like, it's Cousin Eddie from National Lampoons. It's the guy from Independence Day.
Yeah.
Like, Randy Quaid is super funny, a great actor. Him and his wife just did some questionable things, and then he left, and now is trying to make an excuse for it. So that is a celebrity conspiracy theory.
Yeah, well, he genuinely...
I do not believe.
But they clearly believe, or else, I mean, and it's not just one person. That's a guy and his wife.
Sure.
The two of them buy into it enough that they have changed their lives to
Right, they ran away
accommodate
like
this.
fugitives. Like, he's
Yeah,
not acting
it's
in
sad.
it. And this is a talented guy, so it is very sad. So I mean, sometimes that celebrity stuff gets to you too many times, and that's probably why we should talk about the thing that's hit the news the
Oh
most
man.
in the past couple of weeks.
And this one I find particularly just sad.
Well, this is more for our generation.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, a lot of people that we know like Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Sure.
With arms wide open under the sunlight.
Okay.
I know you love it. So,
So
Scott Stapp.
yeah, that has been all over Facebook, all over Twitter. Like this,
Scott Stapp has lost his shit.
I know, and it's honestly, I find it really sad because it's the train wreck is there, and you can't help but like want to look at it and listen to the audio files and stuff, and you're like, okay, this person is dealing with something, probably some kind of mental illness, or
Yeah,
if he actually is. Okay, well, explain for those who haven't seen the reports. Mike, can you tell us what?
Well,
it's about?
Obviously, Creed made a boatload of money like 14, 15 years ago. Like, Creed was the biggest band in the United States. I mean, I didn't know anybody who had not heard a Creed song. Probably 1999, 2000. Like,
Yeah, because they had a bunch of number one hits.
Absolutely. They were sending Madonna's label. Like, Creed really was huge. And we've made fun of Scott Stapp in the interim because he was playing at the same place we were at the same time. Like last
I was
year.
just gonna say now I feel a little bad about that now. It was
Well, we
really
didn't know
funny.
It was crazy.
No, but it was before everything went down. Okay, so
But the thing is that, he put a couple of videos on Facebook in the past month that have just shown that, Scott Stapp's not in the right place. Like, his wife sued for divorce and said that he had a problem with crystal meth, which, he's from Florida. I don't want to, make the guys, like, that is the, if you're talking about the South and you're talking about cliches, like, oh yeah, he's into crystal meth.
and we've already discussed how I guess musicians often fall prey to the the drug habits that are out there. So
you wait around for most of the night, and then you're hoping to do something fun after you're done playing, and you have an hour and a half of fun, or an hour of fun, or 45 minutes of fun for 12, 14, 16 hours of sitting around or hauling stuff or being unhappy. A musician's a hard job. Scott Stapp did it for years on tour with Creed, even though they were super popular. 911 call comes out on TMZ this week. So Scott Stapp's already being made fun of all over the internet because he says that people are trying to steal his money, people are trying to hurt him, people are trying to hurt his family, and he's putting a video out to his fans.
yeah.
And it sounds like madness. Like,
And
what?
the thing that I find really sad is that it's just he puts these things out there, and because he's so famous and so many people know him, it's like people are laughing at it immediately and making fun of it, and it's really sad to see somebody who's clearly being tortured by, demons of the mental variety.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's drugs, I don't know if it's just a chemical imbalance or what he has going on, but it's just sad because it's like this poor guy. I never thought I'd say that about a Creed band member, but
Right.
it's his personal thing, and it's being aired publicly in large part due to his own actions. But it's like everyone's watching it and making fun of it, and it's just clearly not good.
We're looking at the Rolling Stone, right now we're looking at the Rolling Stone account.
Yeah, right.
And Rolling Stone said that had their own issues with journalism this past week. And it says, Scott Stapp's downward spiral captured on police recordings. Singer claims a group of people are trying to kill him and tells dean of his son's school that the core of ISIS the Islamic State in Syria is within his own family.
Right. So he's calling his kid's principal or whatever and saying, you need to protect the school because they're coming after you. So it's beyond his own little. It's not like just one solo guy with his circle of issues. It's like it's expanded to his kid's school, and
he's obviously Scott Stapp is completely mentally ill.
Yeah.
He calls 911. He tells the dispatcher, "I don't know. I've been running for about 6 or 7 weeks. I'm trying to keep them away from my family." He says he's on the side of the road in a Florida highway. He abandoned his car. And then my favorite is he asks, they're like, "What are you wearing?" He's like, "I'm wearing jeans and like a white."
So, wait a minute. What kind of 911 person is this? What are you wearing?
What are you wearing? Well, they want to see him on the side of the road. Because
No,
he's
I know.
running
It's
on the
just-
side of the road. He's wearing jeans and a white, wife beater. And, he's like, it just was a very epic look for having his very public meltdown.
Yeah, and when you hear the 911 call too, it's like he sells it. I mean, he definitely is believing what he's saying.
He doesn't sound that crazy.
He doesn't sound crazy, and he sounds like he's just a guy that genuinely is needs help, and I mean that in the way of not psychological help, well, obviously, but in the way of someone is actually chasing him. So it's believable.
It is very believable, and he does not sound crazy. That's
So
the
maybe
thing.
what if he is right?
Sure. But in another clip from a different 911 call, Stapp attempted to report his wife, Jacqueline, for stealing his car and trying to sell it, only to be told that because the car was taken by his wife, it wasn't theft. He claimed his wife threatened to blackmail me and said that if I went to the police about the stolen money, then she would release to the public supposed picture she says or anything else she can defame me to ruin my reputation and career.
And again, that could be true.
Of
Let's
course
face
it could be
Let's
true.
face it.
This is a guy that had sex with someone next to Kid Rock and somebody put it on videotape. So
Okay.
I'm sure he has some images that would be very damaging to the way that Christians feel about Creed.
And not to mention the fact that, we've seen celebrity relationships go south before, and people just, they do whatever they need to do to get their share of the money or whatever it is, So it's who knows? Maybe his wife was just like, "Hey, I'm done with you, and I want to get my money, and I'm going to blackmail you." I don't know.
I am mad about this story
Why are you mad, Mike?
because I'm defending Scott Stapp, and I
know.
hated Creed from the beginning.
I
From
know.
the very day. I remember I moved to La Crosse for a couple of lost years in the early 2000s. And I was jamming with these guys just to have fun on a Saturday afternoon or something. And they only knew Creed songs.
Yes.
So I sang, I used the first, the My Own Prison Creed album. I would look at those lyrics and just make up a melody for what they were playing behind me. And it just
They're
made
probably
me...
just like, "Who the hell are you?"
No, they loved it. They wanted to start a band. And I was like, "No, thanks. Hey, but thanks for the couple of beers. I gotta go." But either way, I feel man, we are defending Scott Stapp. He's a guy, but the thing is, he's a guy that's sick and he's got problems.
Right.
And you know what?
No, I have to admit, I'm not perfect. When I saw the very
None of
first
us are
article, when I saw the very first article, I was inclined to be like, Scott Stapp. And then I started as I was reading it, I was like, I could just sort of feel myself going, oh.
He's a mentally ill guy. And the thing is, I
And
do not
people are
think...
making fun of it.
I do not think the CIA is trying to kill Scott Stapp in his wife beater and jeans running down a Florida highway. But I do think
But if they were,
he ran afoul. He ran afoul of the wrong people, including his family. And
also, if they were after him, who's going to
who'd
believe him?
it? Yeah, nobody would believe it. You'd be with arms wide open. Don't you run to somebody with arms wide open?
Because the whole internet's laughing at him right now. So it's if the CIA wanted to get him,
This would be the time.
yeah, do it. I'm not saying that they should do that, but
Of course.
it would be easy at this point.
We're not encouraging the CIA sponsored murder of Scott Stapp. But we are encouraging people to find their friends that have mental illness in their life and do something for them.
Right.
You know?
Yes, absolutely. So Scott Stapp, hope the best for him. I really do. I hope that he's able to resolve like whatever issues. I mean, and I just hope he can do it without the TMZ and everybody like being all up.
Yeah, and I hope he can do it without singing. Anyway.
Okay.
Between the 9/11 truthers and Randy Quaid and Scott Stapp, celebrities who believe in conspiracy.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a ton of
In
them.
fact, enough so that we should probably do another episode on this, Mike, because we have been talking about this for quite a while.
And we haven't even gotten through half the outline.
And also, this is episode 16, where the show notes can be found at othersidepodcast.com/16.
So we're gonna get through more celebrity conspiracy theories in the new year.
Yeah, New Year's coming soon.
But at the same time, because it's the holiday season, and we should talk a little bit about our brand new Christmas song that we're going to play for you right now.
Oh, yeah, and it's totally relevant to this topic, too.
Absolutely. If you're worried that Facebook or Google or Twitter is selling your information, then you're going to like this one. This song's called Big Data Christmas.
You used to be such a pain to shop for, used to be so tough. I never knew just what to get and I never bought enough. It always broke my heart to see you sat under that tree. But this year will be different cause of your internet cookies. We always thought the government would try and read our minds. Stick us in a gulag, maybe make us work our mind. We gave up all our secrets for some email that was free. Who'd have thought that techies were the real enemy? This Christmas I just want my privacy. So I'll get suggestions from now on till Christmas Eve of everything you're looking for, or everything you need. So I think they know you better than I ever could. Since they read all your texts, I guess they probably should. So let those jingle bells ring on. It's just another sale from good old Amazon. And we used to think the government would try and read our minds. Stick us in a gulag, maybe work us in a mine. We gave up all our secrets for some email that was free. And pictures of vacations of people I never see. This Christmas I just want my privacy. Santa might be creepy cause he spies on little kids. But that bearded fat man don't have analytics, no! Santa, don't sell your information. Santa, don't work for corporations. Santa, don't use no black hat marketing. Santa, don't use no Facebook retargeting. No, it don't matter if you're naughty or nice. They only care if you bite at the price. And we always thought the government would try and read our minds. Stick us in a gulag, baby, make us work our mind. We gave up all our secrets for some email that was free. Who'd have thought the techies were the real enemy? This Christmas I just want my privacy. This Christmas I just want my privacy. This Christmas I just want my privacy. Santa, don't sell your information. Santa, don't work for corporations. Santa, don't sell your information. Santa, don't work for corporations.
thank you for listening to today's episode. You can find us online at othersidepodcast.com. Until next time, see you on the other side.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
All right, pretty good.